Well, good evening, everyone, and we're delighted to welcome you to our Monday night call. And we are excited tonight to have you join us because we're going to be dialing in on some of the latest research with the Juice Plus community. I'm Sharon Rankin, and I'm zooming in from Nashville, Tennessee. And when we come together on Mondays, it is to really set the stage and the environment for our mission, which is inspiring healthy living around the world. And I'm so excited that we have my dear friend and partner in this community, Debbi Walton, joining us this evening. Debbi, I'm just going to introduce Debbi to you, and we're just going to let her share really what we have asked her to come in and share. And I know that when you hear her speak, you're going to be delighted, happy that you've been taking Juice Plus for a little or for a long, and you're never going to stop taking your Juice Plus. That's how we feel about it. And as I told my team, Debbi, one time, I said, after listening to Debbi, be glad you're taking your Juice Plus every single day. So just so you know, Debbi actually lives here now in the Middle Tennessee area, which is actually Spring Hill, Tennessee, and we're delighted to have her back in our area. She is married to Frank. Many of you met Frank not too long ago. They've been married for, I think, nearly 40 years, as I understand. And what I love, and I'm just going to tell you this real quick, Frank is an evangelist. He's a preacher. He's an evangelist. And I know that he's gone to Africa quite a bit to really be an inspiration there and on a mission. And I just so appreciate that he's able to do that because of what you have been able to do in this community. But Debbi is also a certified plant-based nutritional specialist through Cornell. She's a learner. Debbi loves to learn and learn more. And she has been in the health and wellness industry for 44 years. And Debbi, you don't look like you're old enough to be that long in an industry of any kind. She's a certified master personal trainer, has run corporate wellness programs, and also earlier on in her days when she was here in Nashville, Tennessee, she did live talk show on Talk of the Town, which anybody in Middle Tennessee knows who Talk of the Town is. We've watched it for over the years, so she's got a little personality going on as well. And many of you have heard me say on my team, have heard me say over the years, shining the light for health and hope. You've heard me say that over and over. Well, I actually learned that term from Debbi, shining the light. And her motto is shining the light on proven science, which empowers others to live better lives. Wouldn't you love to be able to say that? And I hope that we all adopt that mission and that philosophy that we're shining the light on our community or on our product, on the proven science that others can live a better life. So welcome, Debbi. We're delighted to have you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. And you know how much I love you and appreciate you and just love your passion for shining the light. So it's so fabulous to have gotten to meet you through this mission. It brings a lot of good things. But what I just want to tell you a little bit of background why I became so passionate with nutrition so at pretty young age. My mom had a heart attack when she was 29, and it was stress induced. And women pay attention to stress. If you ever get that tightness in your chest, pay attention to that. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and make sure that you're giving your heart as good a nutrition as possible. And then she died from complications, some mental issues. And we think because she was on the wrong meds with the heart and that she was on the wrong mental meds. She died when she was 36 and I was 13. And when I got married, and I got into fitness at 19, but when I got married and started thinking of having kids, I just thought I do not want those genes to manifest in me. And now we know that we can trump our genes. My dad died of a stroke in his late 50s. I should have already had a cardiovascular event. When I go and get a cardiovascular checkup about every 5 years, just because I have that family history. the cardiologists are always amazed. You know, what are you doing? I actually had a checkup a couple months ago, and before I got out of the office, he was looking at my website because he could not believe that I don't, praise God, have any cardiovascular issues and am not on medication. And heart disease is still the #1 killer. It will kill twice as many people as cancer. You know, we just don't see them suffer as long. It's usually, do you know the first warning sign for almost 50% of heart attacks is sudden death? Yeah. We don't see them suffer as long. So I don't think we're scared of heart disease as we should be. Fear is a good thing if it motivates you to do something. So anyway, I went back to school and learned about nutrition, and I learned that plants were the answer, that we are a biochemical machine designed to function best and optimally on plants, and the wider the variety, the more power. And so I was on a mission to get people to eat more plants. I was giving them lists of plants to eat. And you know what I heard constantly, even from my husband and my picky middle daughter? Do you know anybody like that, that just doesn't like vegetables? Okay, is they don't taste good. I don't want to eat them. And so I always felt like, and my clients, my fitness clients, would not eat the variety. And back then it was 5 a day. Now the recommendation is 9 to 13 a day, and more than 13 is better. Think about that. So who can do that? So I want you to think about someone in your life, and maybe you're on this call because you're dealing with health issues that you're praying for help with. Or maybe you have family or friends that are dealing with health issues and you're looking for answers. You know, I met a dad today that said he and his wife are desperately looking for answers, natural answers for their child with autism. And I said, I can help you. I can help you, you know. And so I want you to think what brought you here and what people you know that you can share this information with, and give them real help based on real science. And so I was trying to get people to eat more fruits and veg, and then fast forward, and my sister introduced me to a fruit and veg concentrate. And I refused to look at it at first because I thought it was a multivitamin. You guys, no one should be taking a multivitamin. The science is clear on that. It's too few nutrients, supersized. So you might have 50 nutrients in a multivitamin. Well, there's been 400 nutrients discovered in an apple, and they think there might be 10,000 nutrients in an apple. And one of my heroes, T. Colin Campbell, I've met him personally, and he wrote the course that I took. He wrote a book called Whole. And he said it's all about getting back to the whole plant, because there's thousands of phytonutrients, all the vitamins, all the minerals, and thousands of phytonutrients in plants. And we are discovering that there's maybe the most potent nutrients in the skin and seeds. Think about that. When's the last time you ate an orange peel? And then another one of my heroes, David Katz, I've met him personally. He signed my book. Okay. This disease proof. I just love the start of this chapter. Rewrite your future, your body's second chance. You guys, our #1 greatest health component. If you're going to do one thing, you would think as a personal trainer, I would say exercise. That's not the first thing I want to motivate you and encourage you to do. The first thing is to eat more plants, the greater variety. And you've heard eat the rainbow, because the color of the peel, the outside, is representative of the combination of nutrients. So if you eat a purple and a green and a yellow and a dark blue, the berries, and you eat those throughout the day, those are the synergistic effect is incredibly powerful. There was research a long time ago that tomatoes would help lower a man's risk of prostate cancer, and broccoli would help lower a man's risk of prostate cancer. But if you ate tomatoes and broccoli, it multiplied the protection times 3, not times 2. The synergy is real, you guys. And so I want to screen share real quickly. Hopefully I can get you to see this. Okay. Slideshow. Okay. So this is what my sister introduced me to that I refuse to look at. So if you've been kind of pulled to this talk, you can thank the person that begged you or pleaded or made you come to this talk later, because I was resistant. I didn't believe they could put all these plants into a capsule. And then when she was able to get off of her daily anti-inflammatory, inflammation is the commonality of all scary disease, cancer, heart disease, dementia, Alzheimer's, diabetes, MS, you name it. Inflammation is involved, arthritis, bronchitis. Why do allergies turn into asthma? Inflammation. So all scary disease, all chronic disease involves inflammation. And so that's the number one reason for eating more plants, is they are the only food group that reduces inflammation. And so when I investigated and saw that there were over 30 plants in these capsules, and look at those plants and ask yourself, how many have you eaten today? How many plants total have you eaten today? And I always get told, well, today was a bad day. Oh, fine. How many did you eat yesterday? Did you get anywhere near the 9 to 13? 16 is better, you guys. More is better. There's no diminishing return. And now the incredible all plant omega that I wish I had time to talk about. I have a whole webinar on that. If you want to know why this is improving, has improved my vision, and I'm hearing this all over, but I can only tell you my testimonial: vision, brain clarity, reduce my anxiety, and improve my hair. So, I'll take it. But anyway, so I'm not going to talk about the omega tonight, but I am going to talk about the other 3. Juice Plus is the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the world, bar none, so exceeds all others. It is the gold standard, independent, double-blind, placebo-controlled. This is the tightest controlled type of research on the planet. Okay, the Juice Plus research is published in over 40 top medical, sports, and nutritional journals. There is no other nutritional product in the world anywhere near that, and it's hard to find one with any. There's a real popular, has great ads on TV right now that looks like Juice Plus. They have 3 studies, 2 were on rats, and 1 is on humans using 3 times the recommended dose, and none of them got published. If the research isn't published by independent reviewers, don't trust it. You don't know who did it. So look at the quality of this research. And I wasn't asked to cover the immune studies, but I cannot, in all good conscience right now, not share very quickly that Juice Plus is the only nutritional product in the world with 5 published studies showing that it greatly improves your immune system function in just 60 days. And one of the things I want you to think about is it improved killer T cell activity. T cells are the bosses of your immune system, and they go after disease and scary things without having to be trained. They just know to attack. Your immune system is your line of defense. If your immune system is malfunctioning, you are more susceptible to everything, and everything could get worse. And the immune system is almost totally determined by your nutrition. That's not the only element, but it's the biggest element. And the nutrition that creates a healthy immune system, the only group is plants. That's it, plants. Okay, now I've been asked to share our 2 latest studies, which are phenomenal. Do you know anybody that is not interested in protecting their brain? Okay, brain disease is skyrocketing. We are seeing incredible epidemic almost of dementia and Alzheimer's. This research is not on that. This research is on the functioning difference when you're fueling with all those plants. And look at where it's published in PubMed in the National Library of Medicine. I want you to take a look at this. This is top-notch research. It was done in Spain, and it's the effects of fruit and vegetable, a nutraceutical. That's when a plant acts like medicine, okay? And we're not claiming to cure or prevent any disease. We're just claiming that Juice Plus gives you an amazing variety of synergistic power. Your body will do with it what it will. And we are claiming that, okay? And we can claim what this study shows. And it was done with a healthy population in the tightest of controls. And what they did is they gave the group the fruit, veg, and berry. Now, the omega wasn't out yet. And so I propose, because of research we're seeing on omegas, not our omega, the only research we've had time to finish is the absorption. And it's unbelievably well absorbed. Your body soaks up that all plant, no fish omega, like a sponge. It actually shows up in the cell membranes where it's needed in the brain and every cell membrane in 30 days. That's fast, you guys. So when they are able to include the omega, I propose these results will be even more powerful, but this is absolutely going to go down in history as one of our best research studies. 16 weeks on the fruit, veg, and berry. And the results were clearly and significantly improving short-term memory, verbal and nonverbal. So if I tell you something, you're going to remember it better. If you see a grocery list, you're going to remember it better. That's the nonverbal, things like that, okay? And then the results showed improvement in executive function. That's lining things up in your brain. That's taking that short-term memory and organizing it. Anybody want to have better clarity? Okay, selective and sustained attention. You know anybody with short attention, ADHD problems? Please tell them about this. And the last one, to me, is the most exciting. Speed of processing. You can think faster. Do you think we need to think faster in this day and age? You guys, now hang on to this. I don't have a slide on this one. So 16 weeks, 4 months, significant brain function improvement. Okay. And I will tell you, I saw it with my daughters. We didn't have this research, but they rocked school. The last 2 that were on Juice Plus the longest got full rides. And I'm not saying you're going to get a full scholarship ride, but they won't go without Juice Plus now. I had to put it out on the table when they were, the youngest was 7 when we started it. She's 25 now. They won't go without it. They take it on their own. They saw the difference with their peers in illness and their ability in school. So anyway, so they had these results in 16 weeks. Then they did the flip. So they washed out, they took the group that had taken Juice Plus off Juice Plus for 4 weeks. They took the group that had taken a placebo off the placebo. So no one was taking anything. And they flipped them. That's the crossover. Not all of our studies have a crossover. I wish they did. I think they'd show the same thing. So they crossed over. The group that had taken Juice Plus and had these results were now taking a placebo. And at the end of that 16 weeks, they lost all these gains. Okay, continuing to nourish your brain, your heart, your liver, every cell in your body is not a part-time, one-time thing and it's done. We want to keep our fruit, vegetable, berry, and omegas coming in daily, you guys. It's so worth it. Should I ask if anybody has any questions on that, or should I keep going and take questions at the end?
I'd say keep going. You're on a roll.
Okay. And then this one, oh my goodness. I was so excited about this one because this one was actually done in Memphis. It's on PubMed. You guys, that's the top website for doctors, nutritionists, anybody looking at real, very well-controlled, published research, okay? So it's significant that we're on there. And so what I have seen, I'm gonna give you a little history. What I have seen with my own family, my husband, namely, he was a junk food junkie. He was addicted to Coca-Cola. He's listening upstairs. He's glad for me to share this now that he's changed. He was addicted to candy bars. And I was very frustrated. I could not get him off the sugar. He did not he would, begrudgingly eat broccoli. He loved corn. I could feed him corn, and corn is fine, but on the cob, he just yelled. And so he was so limited in his vegetables, and it was very, very frustrating to me. And I knew he was headed for diabetes. His mom developed diabetes, and I knew he was headed for it. He had the big gut. Okay. If your weight is predominantly in the gut and you eat and an hour later you're hungry and you had a big meal, you're probably headed for diabetes. That's some good signs that you're insulin resistant. And diabetes is, they're saying 1 out of every 3 of our kids will be a diabetic if we don't change what they're eating. That's scary because I just read a report today that these kids that are getting diabetes are having way worse serious health problems in their young adult stage. And I'm not going to go into it because somebody might be on the call that is dealing with diabetes. Just do something about it. Okay. And so, especially for our kids, and we can change that. Type 2, and we can even help type 1 with a more steady blood sugar, but we can change most of type 2. So anyway, we started on the capsules, and I want you to remember this because this is exactly what they did in this study. We started on the capsules and we were on it for 2 months, and we had such incredible anti-inflammatory. His joints quit hurting. I started out running my running partner. We thought something was wrong with her. It was me. I was super fueled. My daughter's eczema cleared up. Just some remarkable improvements that we weren't expecting. And so I told him, I'm going to look at that shape, that complete. And because why would a company that makes the best concentrated plants in a capsule in the world not have a good shake? And I'd never found a real nutritious shake, and I'd been looking for years. When I saw what was in it, I told him, I'm ordering this. And I started drinking it, and he came home, and I had made one for lunch, and he said, let me try that. And he liked it. And he was a big guy, and it satisfied him. And in 2 weeks, he said, Debbie, why are things starting to taste too sweet? And it was like the sky opened and the angels sang, because I knew it had lowered his insulin resistance. that it was getting food into the cells faster. Okay, insulin resistance keeps your food from getting into the cells, so you're hungry all the time and your cells are starved. And so he was getting his food into his cells, but it was more than that. We didn't know 18 years ago, that's how long we've been taking Juice Plus, we'll take it for life. We didn't know that it was changing his microbiome, that it was feeding the good gut bacteria that crave plants. He was starting to want to eat the plants. And now he eats as many or more plants every day as I do. He loves them. We were able to change the unhealthy gut bacteria that is made from everything except plants. Okay. All the junk food, all the processed food, even, I'm sorry, meat and dairy, and I'm not vegetarian, but it doesn't make the good bacteria. Only plants and plant fiber make the super healthy gut bacteria that affects your immune system, that slows down aging, that lowers your risk of every disease. So we want to flip that. This research, this is why I'm so excited. And I've seen it with my clients over and over. It's the best tool I've ever had for helping my clients get a handle on their cravings. And if you aren't craving anything but like anything but healthy food, if your junk food cravings go away, do you think you could eat healthier? Could you make better choices? Okay. So this one was done, the fruit, veg, and berry, on healthy women 25 to 50 years old, and they were healthcare workers. And they took the fruit, veg, and berry for 16 weeks. And then they added the complete. And so what happened? Let's break it down. With the fruit, veg, and berry, there was an increase in a short chain fatty acid butyrate. And if you can't remember that, just remember it's really good for your entire intestinal system, all the way down to your colon. That's actually where butyrate is made. This, the nutrients, the phytonutrients in the capsules, about 90% of the polyphenols make it to your colon. That's super important, you guys. Butyrate is named after butter because it's in butter, but you can't absorb the butyrate when you eat it from butter. The gut destroys it. You only make it from, guess what? Say it with me, plants. Okay. And it is made by bacteria in your gut when you give it the right foods. And it has a major impact on your gut health. Without it, your inner lining of your gut will become penetratable. It can't keep the unhealthy things out, and the food before it's digested can get out of the gut. Butyrate keeps your gut and your colon lining healthy. And in other studies, because we don't, so what happened was the butyrate increased in 4 weeks on the trio, on the fruit, veg, and berry. And other studies on butyrate, this is independent, not Juice Plus studies, have shown it's imperative for healthy digestion. You guys, gut issues are epidemic in America. Every other person either has acid reflux or constipation or irritable bowel or bloating, and the number one cause, not the only cause, the number one cause is the lack of plants and plant fiber. It is imperative for brain health, for immune function, to help stabilize blood sugar levels. Remember what happened to my husband? Okay. Get this. It helps cancer cells in a real simplistic terms. If you want to know deeper how this works, message me. Basically commit suicide. Butyrate. Okay. And drum roll, it helps prevent obesity. People with higher levels of butyrate tend to be leaner. Anybody want it yet? Okay. So the conclusion, and then they added the shake, and what happened when they added the shake is that microbiome started shifting even faster. The healthy rising, the unhealthy decreasing. And that's exactly what I saw with my husband, that the trio was slowly changing things. But when we added the shake, it flipped. It flipped fast. And that's what I see with my clients. If I can get them to drink a shake a day, I can get them self-control. Okay.
Mhm.
And so this, in a nutshell, it showed that the fruit, veg, and berry with a high fiber meal replacement, they actually called the complete a meal replacement, can alter intestinal microbiota and improve your glucose clearance. That's lowering the insulin resistance. Pretty exciting. So those are the two studies. Do you want me to cover the perform really quick, Sharon?
Yeah, I think people want to know about it. So
okay,
thanks for doing that.
This just
quickly.
came out. We just got ours the other day, and it's a very different shake. It is way less sweet. Okay, so you're going to notice that right away, and that is a real good thing because athletes, okay, they don't need as much sweet. It has higher protein. Many women, many athletes, even, and I'm talking if you work out 3 days a week, if you want to work out 3 days a week, okay, if you're an intense athlete, you're working more. So a lot of people need a little more protein. And this is the absolute best source of plant protein on the planet. It's very bioavailable. It happens to be very immune protective and helps protect muscle, helps you create muscle. So I absolutely love the protein. It also is really going to help with appetite control, because I know you've heard that we need protein with every meal, basically. But if you get enough protein in the day, you don't necessarily have to have it at every meal. You just need enough in the day. And then I'm just going to highlight 2 of the ingredients, my favorite 2 ingredients. Beetroot. Beetroot is energy. If you remember one thing, beetroot is energy. I'd love to go deep into the science of why it helps create energy. Most of you have heard me talk about nitric oxide. It helps feed that. But get this, research has shown that it probably, if some of the research said it did, increases the ability of the muscle to absorb oxygen. That is performance, you guys. And I will tell you, I drank one for lunch and I'm like, this Zoom is a little late. And I have like no fatigue. I am excited about it. I actually mixed it with half a scoop of the complete. So you can mix them and get the best of both worlds. Okay. But if I'm going to just do something quick, I need my energy up. I'm going to go for a great walk. I'm going to exercise a little harder. I'm going to drink this straight. Cherries, the other ingredient, I absolutely, and cherries are in the fruit, in our berries. Okay, cherries are in the capsules, but more cherries are better. More cherries are better. Cherries are one of the most powerful plants. And research has shown that cherries may reduce risk of chronic inflammatory disease. I'm talking about all those scary things. Improve sleep and recovery from pain after exercise. You guys, this is really, really a great smoothie mix. You know, to me, it's like a frothy, fast drink. My favorite way is put it in a blender with, I actually use less water than it calls for because I like it strong. And you can experiment. and I put about 4 ice cubes in it, and it's frothy, fruity, and I just down it. I love it. And if that's not enough, beetroot and cherries, it's a great source of vitamin D for mushrooms, C, and Bs. And if you're under stress or you exercise a lot, you probably need more Bs. And all of these, the vitamin D, which is really more a hormone, C and Bs are from plants. This is entirely plant sourced. There is nothing made in a chemical lab, you guys. It's all from plants. So I love the Perform. I think that's it. Yep. Let me stop sharing. And then Sharon, you can do what you want. If you want to stop the recording, keep it short, and then we could take questions or whatever you want.
I will stop the recording.